Hey YouTube, today I want to share with you 4 awesome knives. Each of these is a Jarosz Model 75. Up top we have a Gen 1, and then we have a Gen 2 Full Tech, which the name is going to be changing now, so it's not really the Full Tech line anymore. He's also got here a Gen 2 75 and a Gen 3 Prototype 75. Now, there's only 3 generations so far of the 75, and we have all of them to look at. These 2 are mine. I own these, and then these 2 belong to a friend. So thank you very much, Sam, for lending me these 2. It's very nice of you, and I can't wait to show everybody these. So I'm going to take this Full Tech out of the picture for now. I'll give you a quick look at it, but really we want to talk about the differences between the Gen 2, the Gen 1, and the Gen 3. So you see that scary polished edge. That's a wicked knife there. Jesse told me that when he was making this one, he actually cut himself all the way to the bone with it. So it's quite sharp. I can attest to that. Alright, so now we got that out of the way. So we have the Gen 1, the Gen 2, and the Gen 3. The Gen 1 is the smallest, and in fact the sizes go up from Gen 1 to Gen 3. I think the Gen 1 is about 2.8 inches, this is right around 3, and I think this is 3.1 inches. You really can't tell the difference between these two when you grip the knife, but this one you can definitely tell the difference. So the handle on this is, it's on the small side, so I can get 3.5 finger grip, sometimes 4 depending on how I grip it. But the Gen 2 feels really comfortable. I get all 4 fingers on it, and I think it's really perfect. I don't know if he changed it or what he changed on the grip for the Gen 3, if at all, but they feel very similar. I do like the Gen 3, this particular one, a little bit better than the Gen 2 grip, only because it's a tiny bit thinner. We see here that Jesse added these gorgeous blue liners that contrast the gray G10, and you can look at that. That is, I think it's beautiful, but it's a bit chunky in my hand. So, it's the kind of thing where I would get used to it. But if you gave me these 2 and I had to decide which one was better, I prefer a little bit thinner grip. But this is super comfortable. I can attest to that. And this is G10 that's been highly hand contoured. It's very smooth now. This Gen 1 is black linen micarta, and the Gen 3 is an LVA carbon fiber. And it is, if I can get this to capture right, it's gorgeous. So everything is hand contoured, and we see at the top here, we see what it looks like without anything kind of grinding. That's flat. That's the bidirectional. Come on, please. Thank you. That's the bidirectional carbon fiber. And then we look here in the portion that's been contoured, and you see the different layers coming through. I think that's really, really handsome. And anyway, it's very comfortable. Another thing that has changed is the pocket clip. So we see that the Gen 1 and the Gen 2, the Gen 2 and the Gen 3 have the same pocket clip, but the Gen 1 had a smaller, narrower pocket clip that was purchased, and now he does his pocket clips in-house, and they are also, hand polished or hand rubbed, and I think they're a little bit bigger. I mean, obviously they're a little bit bigger. See what else. The blade length. Yeah, I'll show you the blade length comparison now. So we see the Gen 1 on the bottom and the Gen 2 on top. And if I try to line up the back end of the blades, we see that the tip on the Gen 2 is quite, maybe, like I said, like 1/10 of an inch longer or so. And then if we show the Gen 3, again, it's just let me see if I can get these lined up properly. It's kind of a tenth of an inch again, a little bit longer. But in using them, I really can't tell the difference between any of these actually. So they all cut kind of pretty much the same, which is to say, phenomenally. See what else? Oh, so there's also this cool way Jesse altered his jimping on his knife on the top of the thumb ramp here. So it used to be ground into the liners as well as the blade, the thumb ramp here, or the thumb spot. It's not much of a ramp. But now it's the same with the Gen 2. Oops, hit the tripod. And the way he made those is he would take his drill press, and before cutting out the blank, he would drill holes along the spine, and then bring the blade for the grind for the what's the word I'm looking for? Well, anyway, he would then cut the blank out, and he would cut the holes in half, so you actually get the you can that's your jimping there. But he did it differently on the Gen 3. You see the Gen 3, I'm not really sure how he did it on this one, but it has the most sharp jimping of the 3 generations. That almost looks like a hexagon or something. So maybe he pressed it. I'm not sure how he got them to fit, but it's certainly sharper. And also it lacks jimping on the liners, which is fine. Not a big deal. See that there? And oh yeah, I want to show you this backspacer, which has like a wave pattern in it, which is cool. So there's not many Gen 3s out. I think he'll have some at the 5th annual gathering of the Usual Suspects Network, Labor Day weekend 2013. Be there. There's quite a few Gen 2s out. He put some out on his sale Sunday, as well as personal orders and through dealers. But I think there's probably the most are going to be Gen 1s. Maybe there's an equal amount of Gen 1s and Gen 2s. I can't recall. But they're super comfortable knives, and Jesse's work is unparalleled, and it's amazing. So let's look at this one in full detail. This is one of his newest models, and this is the kind of work that he's doing now. Or his newest knives. Wow, great focus, camera. I must be doing this wrong. Okay, so we can see the beautiful grind lines, polished flats. Again, this carbon fiber handle. Two screw construction, which is nice. It keeps it elegant and not too cluttered. Dome pivot. And again, that polished flats and the mirror polished edge. I guess we'll take a look at all of them like this. So here's the Gen 2 in gray G10 with blue liners. Let's see the camera and the flats. His knives are hollow ground. We have this G10, so you can almost start seeing some of the pattern of the G10, the grain, as it were. But it's been sanded down very smoothly and hand contoured, actually hand filed, is how he does that. Then we have I just love the way the gray blue kind of thing, or maybe that's too many blues, but I think it's beautiful. The backspacer that matches. And I don't have time to do a run through of my Gen 1, but I have a full video out on that one. So yeah, that's about it. If there are any questions or comments, please leave them. And as always, be dressed to play and geared to slaughter. See you, YouTube.